Hello and welcome to TIO Stadium. Sorry guys, there was a bit of an issue with a fire alarm. With Rob Howe and Stu Davis, your under 18 football, St Mary's versus Southern Districts. St Mary's top of the ladder. Clash, no team scored yet, and we're a minute into the game.
Yeah, that was a bit of excitement for us, Robbie.
I ran out of breath running up the stairs, so we're on though, and St Mary's have only lost the one goal. No, they haven't lost it all this year. Top of the table, and Southern Districts have a few Premier League boys drop back, Taj Stanley and a few others. I'm expecting a good contest. Brendan Nathaniel playing as well for Saints 23. I don't mind the look of him. Bit of a Dustin Fletcher clone.
Yeah, and of course Parker Fawcett back into the side for Saints this week after missing out last week with family holiday or whatever, but he's been an important part of their structure so far.
Oh yeah,
the last game that we covered.
Very good the game before, and also Nick Stefanakis as well, so a few good ins for the Saints.
So we've just got the ball at around half forward here for St Mary's. As for Southern Districts, it's a high tackle been paid, and it's going the way of Brodie Grace for Districts. He gets the ball inside forward 50. There's an opportunity with plenty of players around the ball. It spills out now. The hand pass comes out. That snap at goal looks pretty good, I think, if it's got through untouched, and I think it has, and that was Benjamin Armat who scored that goal for Southern Districts. So they're on the board with 7 points early, Robbie.
Yeah, Benjamin Armat, that's the son of Ben Armat, the Rolls Royce. The first Rolls Royce they call him. So Ben Armat's the captain with Ryan Shears, number 5 for Southern Districts, both very good players. 2 to keep an eye on, Brodie Grace, number 9, Taj Stanley, number 11. For Saints, they've got a lot of good talent in there. So Parker Fawcett, as Stu mentioned, number 17, the captain, he's a very good footballer. You've got a few others there. Nick Stefanakis back in, Nathan McPhee, the vice captain. We're just sorting out we're all good to go. 19 as well for Saints, Brett Wilson there in the centre, very good player.
So from the restart, it's Saints forcing it forward, picked up nicely down there, and the kick comes out wide, but bounce doesn't favour Fawcett, but he's back onto it now, swings back on the right foot, kicks the ball inside, looking for the big fella Coleman, just slips through his hands and over the back, and plenty of pressure down there as the ball's wrapped in, and it'll be a ball up about 20 metres out from Saints' goal.
Ethan Coleman put in a big pre-season, according to Mags. I had to speak to her during the week, and been smashing the gym work, which is good to hear. Ooh.
Well, that was an interesting block there, but it's Lake Grace who runs away with the ball out of defence. Chopped off nicely over there by Madrill for St Mary's, and now they've got a chance running inside forward 50. Stavry kicks along, looking there for Fawcett, got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark, but recovers, got his kick forward, and an opportunistic mark taken down there, and a chance for Saints to get that goal back. And
Nick Stefanakis,
and
forward.
Goal umpire's made a little bit of ground to the left, but goal umpire Jenny Rowe down there, but it's good enough, and it's through for a goal. So an answering goal for St Mary's early in the first quarter.
Yes, Stu, we've watched a lot of the St Mary's games. I think just the way the draw's gone, 4 out of 5 games have been Saints, and their prime movers just getting their hands on the ball there. I'm predicting Saints to win this one, but Southern Districts do have a couple of good players, and they're going to need to really play well if Crocs are to get up today. Taj Stanley played Premier League all this year so far, number 11 for Crocs. Let's see how he goes this game here today.
So from the restart, ball thumped out towards the grandstand side of the centre square, or just losing his footing there and getting caught high. It's a Saints free kick.
And Ethan Bush from last
very good last week, wasn't he? Kick goes inside 50. Out on the lead was McWilliams, just couldn't hold it. Or was it Stefanakis again?
I think the umpire got the wrong signal there, I think. In the back
so Stefanakis with the free kick. He's got a player on the lead, goes that way, and a good pass, and that was just opened up in front there, and Parker Fawcett running onto that one in the space that was provided by his teammates, and he coming out of the goal square, and he'll kick for goal from about 30 out, pretty much directly in front.
Yeah, he looks like a player of the future, Parker Forsyth. 2 weeks ago, he was best on, and he's got his hands on it early here.
Kicks on the way, goes out to the right, but I think that one's just snuck through as well. So after Districts had the first couple of scores on the board, 1 goal, 1 on the board, Saints have hit back with the next 2 goals, and starting to click into gear by the looks of things, Robbie.
Yeah, definitely. They just quick bounce back from them straight away there. A couple of their good players getting their hands on the peel. Very ominous signs here for the Saints, looking very good early. Of course, Saints haven't lost this year either. Besides that, at the bottom, it looks like a pretty even comp, but I think Saints do look like the standout for mine so far this year with this age group.
Yeah, and the competition's pretty good, I think, Robbie. That's there's a contest to be had every game you play in this competition this year. So looking forward to what's to come for the rest of the season. But at the moment,
Stanley,
it's Districts going forward, but chopped off in defence this time by Michael Williams. He goes towards the outer side of the ground. Ball spills to ground off the marking contest, and picked up there by Stanley once again. Just got some contact after kicking the ball, so it's a relayed free kick.
I think Jed Fairchild might have got him there maybe. He's a bit far from my eyesight. Yeah, touchdown to the Premier League player, and he's going to get it here almost.
Yeah, running back with the flight there, so Saints just needed to tighten up there. We could see that coming from a fair way away, but Saints players just let him drift forward and got on the end of it, and now he'll be shooting for goal from with a set shot from about 25 out.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take too long for Jared Livingston to just get a player to keep an eye on him there, and a bit of two-way running. Don't need to do a tag, but just be a bit more defensive and just understand that if touchdown gets 30 today, it's going to go a long way for the Crocs being competitive.
So his kick's on the way, but he just dragged that one across the face a bit, I think. So behind only, which isn't what Districts were looking for.
Yeah, I really like the look of this Nathaniel. He's a dangly type sort of player, but there's a look about him.
So the kicking gets its way outside defensive 50. There's plenty of players around the ball as they try to work it out now. Almost a throw there, I would have thought, and that's the way the umpire's seen it. So Southern District's free kick, Fabian Masters. And he's signalling that he intends to go long. He runs past the player on the mark now and kicks long inside 50. The ball bounces away from the pack there, but they soon gather around it again as Connor Williams was involved over the ball for Saints, and now some more strong tackling, and it'll be a ball up about 40 out from the Southern Districts goal at the Michael Long Centre end of the ground.
Yeah, Southern Districts applying that pressure early. You're going to need a full-quarter performance today.
So it's Angel L doing the ruck work for Saints, got it down, but it's Districts with hands on the ball first, as now it breaks into some space, picked up nicely down there by Parry, who kicks it down towards the centre of the ground, punch forward, and sweeping across here for Southern Districts was Austin Goddard, but just couldn't get his hands on the ball initially, and now it spills free, and involved in there is Parker Fawcett. He copped a high tackle and take the free kick. He kicks along, wastes no time looking for Big Coleman down there, and he gets his hands to it. Mark not paid, but he recovers well, snaps it goal, and that's a terrific goal. So just moving the ball quickly, Robbie. Parker Fawcett wasted no time, got it in long and deep, and the big fella down there made his presence felt. Yeah,
he just created the contest there. He almost took the mark himself, but great from Parker Forsyth. I've seen in the last few weeks, even in Premier League, players are getting the ball there and just stuffing around with it. Just get it in to your forwards and give them the best chance. And Coleman here, you see, just crumbs it, snaps, does a little bit of a celebration. So I think someone might have passed away or something, or something on his wrist there. So great goal from Ethan Coleman and a great start.
So Saints have really hit back after Districts had the early scorings. Last 3 goals of the game to St Mary's as the clock ticks past 10.5 minutes in this opening quarter. Districts this time, first hands on the ball, but Jalel recovers well, gets a hand pass out wide, and they work it nicely through the hands. Stefanidakis kicks long down to the pretty open forward line. Coleman cleverly stays down this time, picks up the crumb, snaps towards goal, but this time he's hooked it too far and through for a behind. So just had the awareness there. There was a couple of players flying and just kept his ground behind the pack and read it well.
Yeah, definitely did.
So the kick in by Cooper McIntyre to the outer side of the ground, just Saints thumping it back inside again as the kick comes into the goal square. Fawcett running onto it here, run into the open goal from a metre or so out, and just read it beautifully coming in from half forward. Just tracked the ball in and clean hand straight on the boot from a metre out, and Saints are looking impressive now.
Yeah, definitely are. Parker Fawcett looking like the best player on the ground already. Just as his second goal, he's just watching here, gets it out, comes out the back, but a player of that calibre, Southern District's going to have to keep a much closer eye on him. Looks like he's starting deep and just going through the midfield, and that's the depth of the St Mary's side, and they share that workload, which is which is really good for a developing side. It gets you in good stead for Premier League footy.
So the big fella Kazamba back in doing the ruck work for Saints. He's beaten for it this time, and Districts with the clearance. I think it was Masters on the left foot, kicked it forward. In fact, it was probably King, but anyway, Saints across half-back have tied it up pretty well, and the quick kick comes out, falls in the lap of Stefanidakis. Spilt the mark, but he's still got his nose over it, just battling forward now. Gets a hand pass up, and a long hand pass forward to no one in particular, and District's defenders were first there, but Saints were quickly on top of them, wrapping it up, and Williams there for St Mary's just made sure the ball didn't come out, and we've got a stoppage.
Williams is a very good player. I haven't seen much of him yet tonight, but expect him to fire at some stage.
Big Kazamba thumped it forward, but Districts again through the hands. It's a strong tackle off the ball, in fact an illegal tackle, and so it's going to be Liam Butler who'll take this free kick for Southern Districts on the grandstand wing right in front of the interchange bench there as he chips the ball back inside, flies for the ball, it spills to the ground, and Bush it was cleverly got the kick inboard, finds his teammate there in Kabiku, who on a raking left foot, he's got a player running back with the ball, and it's a beautiful pass and hits Stavry on the chest, running back inside forward 50. Fantastic use of the ball there, and again moving the ball quickly while the players had some space. Stavry chips it towards the goal square, but it goes over the marking contest, bounces through for a behind.
Now that we've watched Saints a few times, Stu, I think that did come out a bit lucky in the end, but Saints do move the ball through their half back line and switch, and every other side just tends to go down the line.
Oh,
that was a big bump.
That's a solid bump, and players struggling to get up there as the kick comes in from Wilson, and again it's Fawcett in the goal square all by himself, and he plays on straight away and kicks the goal. So some tempers fraying down here as that was a solid bump, but he's coming towards the bench now, but it was solid. It was adjudged to be fair by the umpires, and play went on, and Fawcett already has got 3 goals on the board, and Districts will have to look at tightening up on him and deepen the forward line.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. We'll see the replay again from that one. Just a bit happening there on the sideline, wasn't there? A bit worried. A few of the Southern Districts boys looked like they were about to run on there, which is not what you want.
So we're still waiting for this interchange to happen. Just pick up who it is. That's.
You could see from here that his neck sort of whiplashed as well, so it's definitely going to need to have a look at him.
So it's Austin Goddard who's come off, copped that heavy bump, but he was able to jog off there in the end. But Saints again, just fast movement through the middle of the ground, a quick kick forward by Stefanidakis, and there's players in space out wide there as the ball went in, and this time it's Panaris who's on the end of it. He's kicks long towards the goal line. It's just falling short and off hands, goes through for a behind. So Clock ticking away, about half a minute to go. District's looking to move the ball on quickly, but Stefanidakis comes in again, and now just wheels around on the right foot, kicks inside the goal square, but just out of reach of his teammate Parker. Force it down there and offline and bounce through for a behind once again. So seconds tick away.
Yeah, Saints well in control here at the scoring end.
Yeah, you'd think Districts would do well just to settle things down here and not let them score again, and then regroup at quarter time as the kick comes in outside of defensive 50, and the mark taken out there by Brodie Grace as the siren goes for quarter time, Robbie.
Yeah, you're watching AFL NT's coverage of the TIO NTFL Under-18 season. St Mary's 5-4-34 to Southern Districts 1-2-8.
To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by Makar.
Beautiful. Goes for home and it's nailed an absolute rip sorter.
From the pocket, and he's kicked
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. We've got Southern Districts versus St Mary's. Start of the second quarter. St Mary's Stu Davis come out very strong. Parker Forsyth with 3. 1 for Nick Stephanakis, 1 for Ethan Coleman, and 1 for the son of the Rolls Royce, Benjamin Armat for Southern Districts.
Yeah, very impressive Saints after a little bit of a slow start, but yeah, they're just moving the ball very quickly, getting it in long and giving themselves the opportunity. And Big Kazamba wins the thump out of the middle again as he thumps it down towards the front edge of the centre square. There's a crude tackle there, and Districts run the ball out quickly. Look like they're trying to rebound quickly themselves as they get it down towards half forward. Just towing it along in front of himself is Shelby Isles down there, but again the ball's just bounced off the player's hands, and calling for an out of bounds free kick down there is Armat, but boundary umpire's having none of it. It's going to be a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for Southern Districts at the airport end of the ground.
Yeah, Brady Grace, number 9, with the run-off half-back there. Needs a big second quarter for him to get Southern Districts back in this contest with Taj Stanley.
So, ball slips out to the side of the pack here as Bush hooks a hand pass out, and running onto it down there for St Mary's was Kabiku, but got caught with the ball, and Taj Stanley, it was the tackler, and he thumps the ball inside the forward 50 corridor, but quick kick out of defence, and Saints looking to run it out now. Beautiful use of the hands, and Stephanakis runs away from half-back, kicks long, looking for force it down here in a one-on-one just at the front edge of the centre square. Players are filing back now, trying to get involved as the ball's loose on the ground. Fawcett reaches in and picks it up, gets a hand pass across nicely. Saints have got it to the big fella Coleman down there out in front of me. Picks up, kicks towards goal, but it's gone right across the face, I think, and out of bounds on the full. So
yeah, I thought he got that one.
Yeah, let off there for Districts.
Yeah, that transition that we noticed early on, hey Stu, the St Mary's just transitioned the ball very, with ease at times, and getting on the gut run and spread.
Yeah, they're not afraid to take it on, are they? And
no.
Back themselves, and away they go as McIntyre brings it in, but Big Kazamba takes the mark for St Mary's. He's chipping inside 50. There's a whistle down here. There's a block called, I think, or it's a 50-metre penalty, I think. Yes, some action around the player on the mark, so players are a little bit confused, but this is going to march him down to about 15 metres out. So Big Sem Kazamba will take his kick from just outside the top of the goal square, just one step, easy as a like, straight through the middle, and that's a goal for him and another one for Saints, and they just keep marching on.
Yeah, St Mary's ability obviously to spread's great, but on that turnover they straight away were in, defensive, pairing off, showing that respect to their oppositions, and on the turnover straight away sprang back into attack. Big Semi, definitely a project player for the Saints, could be a player of the future with that height and athleticism. Obviously still needs a bit more of that craft stuff, but that's going to come. He's already got a lot of attributes. Yeah,
that's right. Don't know much about his history in the game, but he certainly stood out in the games that we've watched. As you say, his athletic ability is terrific, and here he is again. Just thumps this one forward, but Districts have read this one best out of the centre, and Matt gets the kick inside down towards forwards 50. Oh, clever work down there by Isles, who got into some space, tried to give it off to a teammate, but just didn't hit the target, and Saints have worked back, but getting onto it now and snapping around the corner towards goal was Stanley once again, but didn't bring that one back far enough and through for a behind. So Taj Stanley perhaps looking to do a fair bit of it by himself down there.
Yeah,
he might need to bring some other players into the game around him.
Yeah. Nathaniel again and the raping kick out. Raking kick to contest. Great crumbing by Stephanakis there. Got Coleman leading.
So again backed himself, ran off with a bounce, but this time the intercept mark's taken, and Districts a chance to bring it through the centre of the ground, but that kick's just astray, and Wilson chops it off right in the middle of the ground over the top of Armat there, and just having to come back over the mark. He plays on now and kicks high and long to half forward, but chopping in there was Grace for Districts. Lays the tackle. It's a bit of a sling in the end. I think he'll be penalised for that one. It's pretty plain to see as just kept hold of the tackle after it spilled out, and Jeevan Parry will take that free kick. 50 out, he's looking to kick in short. He's got Parker Fawcett on the lead, and just a thought ahead of him, I think. Fawcett, and got onto the end of it, no problems at all. Takes a chest mark out in front of the players behind him, and he'll go back and have the set shot.
Parker Fawcett has some good forward craft. In that first part of that second quarter, he had to really lead at the football and didn't it? Sort of create the turnover for them. But there he just led strong with the footy and ended up getting on the end of it.
So his kick at goal, he likes it, claps the hands, so do his teammates, and that's a good finish. The angle was a bit tougher that time, but still no problem for Fawcett. And early in this second quarter, he's got his 4th goal on the board, and that's, what's that, 2-5? The last, District scored the first goal, and Saints have scored the next 7, so...
Yeah, very dominant display coming into the second quarter. Javan Parry as well, showed some glimpses as well last week, but, you know, didn't finish it off, so that's a good start from him. I think he must be relation with Brett Wilson, coming from that Daly River region.
So from the restart, Kazamba just thumps it forward again, and the Saints players off of half forward read it well. The throw's been paid here. It's going to be a Southern Districts free kick, and they look to spread to the grandstand side here. It's a good pass, and getting on the end of it is Fabian Masters. He wastes no time, kicks it forward, and finds his teammate here in Austin Goddard, who's the player that went off injured in the first quarter, so it's good to see him back out there and involved in the action. Kicks the ball back inside forward 50 as the ball's loose on the ground, and Districts have got some numbers here if they can get it through the hands. A quick hand pass forward, but strong defensive work by St Mary's once again, laying the tackles down there. And again, Armat just shrugs the tackle this time, gets a quick kick forward under pressure, and tapping it around. And now Districts with an opportunity off the outside of the boot there of Breen as the ball bounces towards goal, but bounces into the behind post, and it'll be a boundary throw in on just adjacent to that left-hand behind post for Southern Districts.
Yeah, 2 goals to none this quarter, so St Mary's really getting on top. Southern Districts with a rare forward 50 entry.
So Jalel doing the ruck work for Saints this time, but taking out of that contest was Breen once again. Ball spills on the ground, a hack kick comes forward. Here's an opportunity for Districts, and snap at goal is a good one, and I think that was Stanley again, wasn't it? And a good answer from Southern Districts there, just to stop the tidal wave that has been St Mary's going forward since the opening minutes of the game.
Yes, for Southern Districts, a few of those prime movers are getting their hands on it, but so they need to try bring in a couple more of those sort of players around them to try and make it a team effort and try to get this, get some score back on this scoreboard.
Yeah, it's interesting that Stanley's playing out of the goal square now, and that's good to give him scoring power forward, but perhaps miss him further up the ground.
I heard that he's a very good runner as well, so he probably should be just playing on the ball, but might be a reason for it.
So Jalel gets it down to Wilson. His hand pass across to Fairchild. He was caught with the ball and penalised, and now District's going forward, and Ben Holmes chips the ball back in, but well read in defence by Williams. Got the hand pass out, but Armat's on the end of this one. He gets wrapped up pretty quickly, but manages to get his hand pass away. A real wrestle for the ball on the ground once again as it spills out, and a suspect looking hand pass there, but play on's the call as it's fished up again by King, and the ball's just worked its way the forward side of the centre circles for Saints, and Parry gets some clear air and kicks forward, and guess who? Parker Fawcett again, this time using the body against his opponent, just nudged his opponent out of position, and took the mark on the chest in the end, and he'll go back and kick for goal once again from about 35 metres out.
So he's going for his 5th here, Stu, so been very dominant, hasn't he? Just playing mostly forward and just pinch hitting through the midfield. Just looking confident.
So it kicks on its way.
Yeah, I reckon it's
I
hard.
think it's good again. Goal umpire steps in and says that'll do me. So Parker Fawcett just leather poisoning at the moment in that forward 50 for St Mary's. They haven't had to use him up the ground at all. He's been really dangerous inside forward 50. He said during the week that he was going to be playing deep forward this week. Had a couple of niggles. So
Yeah. So you just go up forward and kick 5. From Southern Districts, so you got to probably put your best 4 or 5 players around the ball now for this last 6 minutes and just try to stem some bleeding. Saints are looking very ominous here.
from the restart, Jalel for St Mary's gets his hands to the ball, follows up, just toe pokes it out. The quick kick forward there by Jello was smothered, and now ball out into some space, and McWilliams does well, picks up and kicks forward. He was pushed after he kicked the ball, so it'll be a relayed free kick, and it'll be Brett Wilson to take that free kick just outside the forward 50 for St Mary's. And just looking at what's available, and what's available is Parker Fawcett once again, and just manages to get himself into some space, doesn't he? Very, very clever forward player, and just got himself a metre of space, and then just ran onto the ball and took an uncontested mark again.
Yeah, geez, you move Taj Stanley back onto him or something, because yeah, he's just any forward 50 entry they're getting, he's just an easy target, and he's just kicked his 6.
Oh, he's kicking beautifully as well, isn't he? Like, hasn't looked like missing, so it's
He's got to come under consideration for Premier League footy, you'd have to say, Stu.
Oh, look,
if you know the chairman of selectors. But yeah, it's his 6th goal, guys, so looking very good, Parker Fawcett, just playing forward, and I think he's just, got those youngsters on the ball there now for St Mary's, good depth.
Yep, and of course Parker Fawcett, only young, of course, he's bottom age, under 18, and yeah, very impressive. Had a terrific start to the season, apart from what he's done tonight.
Yeah, rangy type.
So that's an interesting hit out, went straight up in the air, and now he's Stanley's gone into the middle of the ground. He wins the clearance for Districts, kicks long straight down the middle of the ground. Running onto it down here was Holmes, just couldn't handle the ball under some perceived pressure, but he's going to win the free kick here, and he'll go back and have a shot for goal from 35 out, directly in front.
Yeah, the Crocs need this one. It's an understatement, but yeah.
His kick's on the way, looks like it might fall short. Just getting his hand to the ball down there was Mitchell Gallagher for Districts, but all he could do was pat it over the line for a behind, and Nathaniel brings it in for Saints to the outer side of the ground. Ball slips over the pack, and Panaris down there gets a kick forward. Districts working across defensively, but under plenty of pressure as the ball spills out, and again it's going to be St Mary's free kick down here, and this time it's McPhee who'll take the free kick on the outer side of the ground. He swings the ball in towards half forward. Fawcett lurking there, just couldn't get his hands on it this time, but he's involved again, lays the tackle, brings his opponent to ground. The ball slips out now, and a quick kick goes forward for St Mary's. But Districts working feverishly in defence, trying to bring this one out, and they do eventually get the quick kick out as the ball hits the deck. Some good work by Madrill, who squares the ball across into some space on the outer side of the ground. Bit of a flicker of the lights there, but play on to call. We had a power outage last night, Robbie. Don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, hopefully nothing happens here.
It's kick forward, and Saints on the end of it again, and it's Stavrey for St Mary's, who just found a little bit of space, got his hands to the ball, took it nicely, and he'll go back for another set shot. And St Mary's have kicked 4 goals to 1 this quarter after 5 to 1 in the first quarter, and Stavrey's kick on the way. It's just off to the right, I think, so a behind only.
Yeah, he kicked a goal last week, didn't he, Stu? So just missed now though, but almost kicked St Mary's 10th goal with a minute 30 here to go in this second quarter.
So Jack James with the ball brings it in. Oh, looked like he was shaping for the torp for a minute, but runs off and has the bounce now, and kicks around the wing. Ball's punched away, and Kazamba on the end of it does the roving, kicks the ball in, and out the back in some space. Coleman trying to run onto it, but Stanley's there for Southern Districts, and under some pressure eventually manages to paddle the ball across the behind line for a rush behind.
Yeah, so Southern Districts really need to just see this last bit out now. There's only 45 seconds to go, but it's a very dominant display here from St Mary's in this second quarter. Parker Fawcett with the 6 goals.
So Jack James does go the barrel this time to the outer side of the ground, but again St Mary's are set up pretty well out there, and putting plenty of pressure on their district's opponents whenever the ball's on the ground. So it's a St Mary's free kick, in fact, for
Fairchild, the son of the hammer.
Fairchild is kicked into the player on the mark there, but now Wilson gets it, hands out, and quick kick forward by Jello, but was offline, and again it's rushed through 4 behind, so seconds tick away. That'll be the end of the action in the first half, I think, and a dominant St Mary's in the first half, Robbie.
Yeah, very dominant St Mary's. Parker Forsyth with 6, Fawcett with 6, Kazumba, Coleman and Stephanakis with 1 apiece. Benjamin Matt and Taj Stanley have kicked singles for Southern Districts. St Mary's leading 9-6-60 to 2-4-16 at halftime.
Working around a bit, and they just seem to be well drilled and well skilled. Oh, Guthrie misses it, kicked up by Jaden Magro, and Magro onto his left foot, goal, and it's a goal, the first goal of the match, 2.5 minutes in, Waratah leading.
Butters.
He's a good size, a left footer, kicks inside, forward 50 for the Magpies, that's their first foray, waiting at the drop of the ball, front and square, and the man got it. Arms up, Eddie Betts got one back. He's no doubt about that. Jeddah, he's gone. He'll kick this, he will kick this, he will snail it. And he has.
Here it comes.
Here he comes.
And the celebration, look at them all get around him as well.
Knocked his arms, I reckon. It was bad luck anyway. Waratah have the footy. That's Cree. Cree kicks the ball beautifully. And Waratah have their chance now with the goal kicking.
Plays on. Oh, that looks like a
Onto
good
the left
kick.
foot.
That's a
kick.
beautiful
There's 55-metre kick.
Oh, wow.
Darcy Hope.
Oh, look at the kick. That's like a 60, 70-metre kick. Oh, too easy. That is too easy there to Waratah's Butters.
Bit of mark taken by Whack. Whack was dragged off the footy. Ball, they shouted, and the umpire agreed.
They don't know what to do with it.
And Varco nicely in, goes by hand over the top, and Betts has got another one. That's much better, Palmerston Magpies. They're reducing the margin. Wills gets it out in the direction of Varco. Varco goes by hand nicely onto the left foot, Palmerston. They've gone coast to coast for Palmy Magpies. Quite right. Betts. Can he reduce the margin? Can he reduce the margin? Can he ever? That's his third. The Maggies, they're on the march. Oh, gosh,
Yeah, they're
plenty of
open
room
here.
They're up and away, Waratah. And a good mark, good kick, good mark. Betts. Hope.
Oh,
Kicks in Hope.
straight.
And he does it nicely. Darcy Hope, that's his second goal. Off, inside.
Oh, that's a dangerous kick. That's a lazy kick there, Butters, and the turnover, and they've got players
Cree.
out the back here.
Cree goes to Anchors. Anchors, thank you very much to Arnold Kirby, and Kirby kicks the goal. Well, there you go. If it wasn't over, it is now.
Up, they're still pressing, but on the other hand, Ayresy would be very happy that Waratahs haven't panicked here. They can get another goal. There's 13 points of difference now, or 12, sorry.
once bounced off his opponent. Did Mummery. From outside, Mummery then sends it in, and it looks pretty good from here. So Mummery from that right forward pocket puts the Tigers further in front with their wines. No, in fact, it's Moody. Moody can turn it back inside. He's got Mummery. Mummery under all sorts of pressure. Wilson's in there. Mummery with a hurried left foot kick directly in front. Looks pretty good to me. Not at the head of the goal umpire, and all clear is given. Get it. Comes to Wilson, who balks the handball, then does a little short chip kick onto his teammate, who steps around one, then goes back, and Jack Hammond has put it through for his third. Opponent out of it, then gives a handball off. Here they come. This is Tipamata Miri. He's got a long kick. He just centres that kick, punched away there. Reading it beautifully off the pack.
There it is.
Couldn't quite pick that up.
It's number 17 for
but that
the
was
Tiwi
Jeffrey
Bombers.
Simon who read that beautifully off the pack. And the Bombers are on the board. Courtesy of John Tipalura. He's been very good today. He's on a run, has a bounce, then sets it up, trying to use that breeze, goes into the middle corridor. It's a contest, loose on the ground, sharking it off the pack there. I picked up that number as being Braden Puruntatameri, through for a goal. Harley Bennell then just puts it straight on the boot and kicks it. Tiwi really wanting to press forward now, really trying to keep him under pressure here as Coombs gets it, right foot snap at goal and puts it through. It's a great way to actually stay involved with the game if you can't play anymore, as Wilson sends it across the field.
Where's Brownie?
As they look up and set it up, and sending it long and through and strong for their next goal was by Nightcliffe. Brownie might think he's half a chance here.
Come on, Brownie.
Ryan Moo, Nathan Brown
running
on
the
lead. Here we go with the big lead and
Brownie.
Mark.
There it is.
So now Nathan Brown takes a big strong mark as he comes in.
It means the world to him, Nightcliffe. I ran into him at the supermarket a couple of days ago, and he was talking about his 200th game, and he's kicked a goal.
Happy. So Nathan Brown kicks a goal in his 200th game here at Nightcliffe Oval.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for Under-18 Football 2022-2023 season. Here with Stu Davis and Rob Hale. Stu, great first half there from the Sainers.
Yeah, really impressive, aren't they? We've been fortunate enough to see them basically every week so far, except when they had the bye. But if anything, I think tonight's been their most impressive performance so far.
Yeah, well, Southern Districts do have some good players in as well. So Parker Fawcett with 6 goals, outstanding performance so far.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how Districts attack this second half as we're underway, and Jalel for St Mary's gets the hit out. Ball on the ground ricochets back towards the Southern Districts scoring end. Jalel's involved again, got the hand pass away, and clearing out of defence was Ethan Bush for St Mary's down towards half forward. Cleverly punched forward, but Districts first there, but just couldn't handle the ball. And now Parry involved again. Again the ball slipped away, and there's a pack of players. It's just reefed out of the bottom of the pack down there by McPhee, but had an air shot when he went to kick the ball, and the ball's pinging around now inside St Mary's forward 50, a quick kick forward, but it's going to be a Southern Districts free kick here, just as St Mary's were looking to pounce on it in the forward pocket. And the kick will be taken back here by Jack James for Southern Districts.
St Mary's already paired off very quickly. Great defence.
So he goes long, straight down the ground, or beautifully picked up, and running across the centre of the ground. Yep, and McWilliams took it in the hands, tried to give the quick hand pass, but missed his target. McPhee there, the ball loose on the ground, bit of a pack around the ball, scrum around the ball as it gets out now. McWilliams gets it across here, and Wilson just fast evasive work through the hands, gets it out, and now a quick kick forward by Rainey gives Saints an opportunity again, and Jalel this time thumps it forward. He was battered over as he kicked the ball, and it's going to be a downfield free kick, and it was Parker Fawcett down there, was in the one-on-one contest, so he's going to be the recipient of the free kick at the top of the goal square.
Going for number 7. Yeah, I think Nick Stefanakis, he just looks a lot better on a back flank. He just might be one of those guys that just plays better when the footy's in front of him.
So Fawcett just walks in and chips it over the goal umpire's head, no problem at all, and incredible 7 goals just after half-time.
Yeah, St Mary's looking really good there. Anthony McWilliams there coming out, just got to make sure he just doesn't duck his head in the marking contest, just does that just there in the footage. He's done it a few times, and once he gets that confidence, he's only a 15-year-old kid, so once that confidence comes, he's going to be really taking some good grabs. Parker Fawcett looking very good up there. Brett Wilson's been quiet as well, number 19 for Saints. He's a very good player, so it just shows the depth they've got through that midfield, and young Jed Fairchild on there as well as a 15-year-old starting on the pill.
Yeah, Jalel's an interesting one in the ruck. Gets his hand to the ball, doesn't he, in the middle there, undersized, and does a bit of work around the ground as well. So he's been a handy pickup for Saints this year.
Yeah.
As the ball slips out.
Definitely been good today.
Then Rainey for St Mary's kicks the ball round the outer side of the ground. Ball's loose, and getting his hands on it down there was Jallo. Got the hand pass back inboard, but there's a high tackle here on McPhee for St Mary's, and he'll take the free kick in deep in the forward pocket on the outer side of the ground. But looks like he's going back with a bit of confidence that he can score from there. He'll be kicking from about 40 metres, I'd say, by the time he hits it and kicks over the player on the mark. So taking plenty of times. Kicks on the way now. Made the distance okay, but just hung it out to the left a bit and threw for a behind. So District's looking to move the ball on quickly, grandstand side. Ball comes out wide through the hands, it slips over the back, and running onto it down here is Bush. He gets gang tackled out here, and the ball spills free, but then the District's players forgot about where the ball was as it comes back to Gabiku now. He ducks past a couple of players, kicks long in towards forward 50 there, and Mark couldn't be taken. Bush comes from behind and double hands it forward, but standing over it for Districts was Stanley. Got the hand pass out, and Ryan Shears got a quick kick forward, well read, and Saints rebound once again, looking for Fairchild out here at the grandstand side, but there's plenty of heat around the ball as now it finds its way over the boundary line, and it's a bit of push and shove, which we probably don't need, and players sort themselves out now.
Yeah, I thought Taj Stanley Mott was going to handball to the bloke on the bench there. He was that close to the boundary line, almost suckered him in there. But yeah, getting a bit more feisty here. Unclear footy, it's a bit more contested.
So Wilson just through traffic there, kept the ball in front of him, but couldn't take possession. Good hands by Jaleel. Got it back there to Bush. Bush's kick comes down towards half forward, where McPhee over the top tried to take it reaching in, and Jallo comes in but got caught with the ball, and incorrect disposal, and Jack James again for Southern Districts is the recipient of the free kick, for rewarded for a good tackle there. He runs off in towards the centre of the ground and then hooks it back, but it's all Saints here as the big fella Kazamba takes a good mark on the run there, and wanted to play on, I think, but thought better of it in the end, and now kicks long towards half forward. Coleman comes in strongly again. The ball spills to the back. Running onto it down there for Districts was Grace. Grace got it out, but only as far as Rainey out there, who swings around, kicks in towards goal, but that's off the side of the boot. And out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket for St Mary's. So Districts a chance to regroup from deep in defence and bring it back into play, as Liam Butler will
Southern District's very stagnant here again. Try to get some ball movement happening, get some blokes leading, create some space.
Yeah, so they kick to an outnumber out there, and the mark taken by Rainey once again for St Mary's. He wheels around on the right foot, keeps deep in looking for Fawcett there. He's outnumbered 2-1 and the ball's thumped away. McPhee gets a kick across the face of goal. The bounce doesn't really favour the District's defence down there, but they've got the numbers and do well enough to bring it out. Looking straight up the corridor, the ball slips over the back, but Saints again through Bush. The hand pass goes forwards, and strong body work and picking up and kicking forward was Corey Rice for Southern Districts. It's a tackle that's in the back of the St Mary's player Panaris there, and he'll take the free kick and spreads the ball towards the grandstand wing, where Tyler Madrill takes a nice contested mark. Madrill called to play on now, and there's a 50-metre penalty being called. There's might be a report here. Looked like it's a yellow card, in fact. So
the screen was in the way there. I couldn't really see much there.
Shelby Isles there, just sent off. Yeah, just some unnecessary stuff down there, and there's a 50-metre penalty, and in fact it's going to be. Looks like it might be a second 50-metre penalty, but it's Tyler Madrill. He's going to be kicking now from 40 metres out, and comes in now, kicks the ball high towards the goal square, and the ball slips over the back, bounces through for a behind.
Yeah, now they're down to 17 on the field. In a very tricky situation now, trying to stem the bleeding a bit here in this third quarter. Long boundary side.
Butler brings it in for Districts to towards the grandstand side. Well read at the back of the pack there by Stephanodakis again. Got the kick forward. Coleman comes in, picks up and bursts his way past the tackler. Now picks up, kicks long towards goal, hooks it round. It's red in the goal square, but spilt, and now the ball's caught up underneath, and perhaps
that was a decent snap there as well from Coleman. 45 out almost.
Got plenty of purchase on it, didn't he?
And accurate as well.
Yep. So from the restart in the goal square, it's going to be forced over for a rush behind.
Yeah, Southern Districts need to spread here and get some hope coming into this third quarter. It's going to go long boundary side again.
But again, Saints are set up pretty well behind the ball, but it slips over the back this time. Two Southern Districts players collided. Armac comes in, tries to scoop it forward, but it's cut off back there by King for St Mary's. Got a quick kick forward, and now Coleman is tackled and the ball spills free, and he'll be penalised. And Brodie Grace will take the free kick across half back. He's looking to chip it, but that's gone astray, and Joel Burke just gets in the right space and takes the intercept mark, and now he chips out wider to the running Brendan Nathaniel. He goes boundary side on the outer side of the ground as Saints trying to hack it forward there through Rainey, but his kick's just dribbled across the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in about 50 out from the St Mary's goal.
Yeah, been a very stop-starty sort of third quarter, hasn't it? It's just been stoppages, and Southern District have turned this into a bit of a dogfight here in the third.
Yeah, just the one goal so
yeah,
far.
one goal, yep. And Districts haven't scored on it. I can't remember an inside 50 either.
No, that's right.
Yeah, so 10 minutes without inside 50 for the Crocs.
So from the stoppage, again, plenty of players around the ball as the ball spills free, and no one can take clean possession out there, and it's forced over the boundary line for another throw in. So just ball held up in the one area at the moment.
Yeah,
you can
very
see
stop-start. A lot of numbers around there, isn't there? Yeah.
As McWilliams gets on the end of this, the ball spills out as he's tackled, and again it spills over the boundary line and will be a boundary throw in once more.
Big Semi's been good today, hasn't he? Big
Yeah.
ruckman.
Another hit out down
Yep.
there, and on the end of this one, Stefanidakis on the outside of the foot gets it to the top of the goal square. Oh, some clever work down there, and a shot at goal. I think that was Terry Panaris in the end, and
Nice.
a good finish. Of course, it was
Sprinted down,
lurking, but yeah, he's done well there, and threw it on the boot, slammed it through for another Saints goal.
Sprinted down there from the back flank or the wing, so he's running back there now. So great goal from there, from Panaris there. He's on the wing, so
Yeah.
yep, there's a contest. Stefanidakis as well. Just I think he might have on the back flank. He's moved into the forward line there to create something, and create the opportunity there for Panaris.
Yeah, good evasive work, and got it on the boot from about 10 metres out. So second goal of the quarter to St Mary's. They extend that lead. It's getting out towards 10 goals now, and as we said, they're really impressive in the first half,
Yeah.
and just haven't let Districts back into the game in this second half either.
Probably have another couple of goals in them here with a couple of quick ball movements.
Matt read that hit out, but his kick was smothered, but Districts off the ground with an opportunity to go forward, but unfortunately it just dribbles over the boundary line in front of Brodie Grace out there, and it'll be a boundary throw in between wing and half forward on the outer side for Southern Districts.
Yeah, Nick Stefanidakis has been really good this third quarter, probably best on with the move to half back. I wouldn't move him from that back flank. He's really good there.
Leo King just overran it initially, but managed to get some sort of a kick to the advantage of his teammate McWilliams. The kick comes forward, and now out of defence, Bray Elliott got his hands to the ball, but it just slipped out, and now Wilson pounces, hand passes back in board to McWilliams. He hand passes under pressure, and Districts bring it away again. There's a push going to be paid there. Advantage is paid, in fact, as Armat kicks it inside forward 50. There's another free kick being paid here for a block. Again, advantage is paid, and Districts have got a goal on the board this time. So a couple of free kicks worked their way, and it was Ryan Shears who got on the end of it, and a clever shot at goal off the outside of the boot, just to spear that one through in the end as he took the advantage and ran forward.
Yeah, Ryan Shears is a player I coached against 2 years ago in this age group, and he was very kicked 3 or 4 against us, so he's been quiet today. I haven't seen a whole lot of him. So I understand he might have been in a car accident or something as well, so he might be still trying to recover and get back into his footy from that. But he's a very talented footballer when he's up and running, Ryan Shears. The Town Stanley moved onto the ball here, number 11.
Kazamba smashes it forward again. Panaris coming in off the wing, but bounce of the ball evades him. It's Fairchild in there, gets a hand pass forward, but it's thumped back now, and a strong tackle by Stanley there, just got his opponent out of the way, and now the ball spilling towards the boundary line as Gabiko comes in with strength and gets rid of his opponent, but can't keep the ball in play, and it'll be another boundary throw in here.
Yeah, it's good strong football there, Stu. Bit of body on it.
Yep. So the ball to the front of the pack gets just hacked forward by Ethan Bush. Wilson trying to keep it in play, but couldn't do so. So between wing and half forward, grandstand side for St Mary's. It's a boundary throw in with just over a minute to go on the clock in this third quarter. So Saints would be looking to win the clearance and get it forward once again, as that's not the best of boundary throw-ins. I think we might have to have another go at that one, and gave the ruckman no chance whatsoever, so they set themselves again. And Nicholas Harrington for Southern Districts up against Kazamba for St Mary's. Kazamba just pushes his opponent out the way and then went for the fist but missed it. Running onto it was Harrington, but got tackled as he went to kick the ball. Grace in there breaks the tackle eventually, kicks long. He got some contact after he kicked the ball, but all fair, said the umpire. Picked up beautifully down there by Shears. He kicks the ball in towards half forward. The ball spills out. Saints have got numbers back. Stephanodikis running away off half back. Kicks the ball down towards the centre of the ground, but Districts have got the numbers here but couldn't take possession of the ball, and Jallo came in for Saints, had his jumper pulled, and he'll take the free kick on the outer side of the ground. So just looking to switch the ball wide and soaking up time as the siren goes to end the third quarter, a quarter in which Saints kicked the first 2 goals, and then Districts got one back through Ryan Shears towards the end of the quarter, but Saints in a dominant position at 3/4 time.
Yeah, St Mary's in a very dominant position. Parker Fawcett was 7, 1 to Kazumba, 1 to Coleman, Stephanodikis and Panaris for the St Mary's. For Southern Districts, Ben Ahmat has 1, Ryan Shears has 1 and Taj Stanley. 3-4-22 Southern Districts trail St Mary's 11-8 74 at TIO Stadium. Stay tuned for the last quarter.
This afternoon here at TIO Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Picked up by Makar. Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. You're watching Under-18 football 2022-2023 NTFL season. Parker Fawcett was 7 tonight. Stu Davis, very good from the St Mary's Football Club, stamped the authority in that second quarter. Very dominant display in the first and second, and a bit of a contested game in that third.
Yeah, that's right. We usually see Fawcett around the ball a bit, but he's just been camped in the forward line tonight and has produced for them in that role. So Jaleel gets the hit out, but it's Districts with the opportunity to go forward through the hands. Rice got it over to Stanley. Stanley goes long inside forward 50. This is a good forward entry, and Ryan Shears gets on the end of it, gets a hand pass across to Brodie Grace. They're trying to run the ball through the forward line here, and the hand pass comes out again. A quick snap at goal, looks good. It's going to go all the way through. The Saints players are claiming it was touch, but the umpire didn't recognise it that way, and that was a good finish. And Carter Hansen it was on the end of that with a good finish and good ball movement. They've obviously determined that they're going to move the ball quickly and just take the game on, Robbie, by the looks of that start.
Yeah, well, they are, 9 goals down, 8 goals down now, so it's just some of their better players were getting their hands on the football there. Brodie Grace is one of them, Ryan Shears, and also Taj Stanley. Those guys are going to have to get 10 touches each this quarter if they're going to get anywhere near getting back in this game. It's 8 goals down now, but a great forward start for Southern Districts.
Yep, a goal within a minute, and we're back for the restart now as Saints Districts are up and about as the big fella Harrington wins the hit out, but Joel Burke's first there for St Mary's, but took too long to get rid of it according to the umpire, and it's going to be a Districts free kick, and it's Harrington with the free kick. He kicks long straight down the middle of the ground, the ball thumped away from behind, hits the ground. There's a whistle on the play. It's a Southern Districts free kick again. Another opportunity for a shot at goal, and it's Taj Stanley who's the recipient of the free kick. So a really bright start in this last quarter for Southern Districts.
Yeah, Taj Stanley getting his hands on the footy. Very good for Southern Districts at Premier League level. I thought 2 weeks ago when I commentated against Waratahs, and could have been stiff for not getting a rising start. Quite a game last week and back in the 18s and trying to lift his team here.
So Stanley's kick, no problem at all, straight through the middle. So 2 goals to start the final quarter from Southern Districts, and a bit of a spark for them, and they look like they're up and about.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at players to come up to that Premier League level, you really need to stand out of this age group to be competitive at Premier League level. Taj Stanley's had his moments today, but Parker Fawcett still, you can't look past that if you're just tuning in. He's kicked 7 goals, the number 17 for St Mary's. Been very good. I'm not too sure where he is though. Is he? Yeah, might be up forward, or is he off? I know he's coming on now, Parker, so keep an eye on him.
So again,
big Sammy out of the ruck there, and they've got the last 3 clearances now. This will be the 3rd one. Well, that's 50.
50-metre penalty as well. So
have to get the big Sammy in there now, guys.
Taj Stanley wants to move it on quickly. He's
going for his 30 if he's going to shoot, which he should be.
Yep, going to steady it down now and go back. But that 50-metre penalty takes him to only about 30 metres out, directly in front, and he, of course, kicked the last goal from a similar position. So you would think that he shouldn't have much problem with this one either. As comes in now, kicks on the way, and it's good again, straight over the goal umpire's head, and wow, three goals to start the quarter from Southern Districts. And
I think something that I did hear from Rick Nolan back in the day is that you want to start of every quarter with your best sort of side at the start of it, and I think Big Sammy out of that ruck contest has really hurt Saints here early, but Southern District's going to have to kick 6 goals in 12 minutes here, Stu, so it's going to be a tough ask, but they've kicked 3 and 4, so
yeah, that's right.
Mathematically they can still get there. The Saints really need to win this next contest here.
So the restart again, and once again the big fella Harrington thumps it forward for Districts, and they're running through the middle now. The hand pass comes across to Rice. He hand passes forward, but cleaning up at the back was Madrill, and he clears out wide where the Saints have got some players in some space, and the kick comes over the top to Gabiku. He wheels around on the left foot now, looking to go long inside forward 50, but particularly well directed, but Saints have got some numbers there. But working back for Districts was Grace, running onto that and clears out towards the wing, but just coming off the bench down here for Saints was Stavrey, and he gathers and kicks the ball inside forward 50. Fawcett's on the end of this, breaks past one tackle, gets his kick to the ball, it's dribbling towards goal, but just offline this time. Perhaps had an option to hand pass over, but
yeah, bloody Parker Fawcett there. Well, I think Anthony McWilliams was out there, but Parker Fawcett just went back into that space, and his backman just went to that space and cut off that mark. But good crumbing effort to get back there, and Stavros running off from the wing there. Stavrey.
Austin Goddard brings the ball back in for Districts to the outer side of the ground. Out in the marking contest, couldn't hold it, and Wilson reaches in, picks it up, ducks one way, back the other, swings around and kicks on the right, inside forward 50. The ball slips over the back. Saints raffling it down here. Parry in the end, centering kick. That's a great kick across the face of goal. Saw that he had his captain Anthony McWilliams there in some space at the back, and just a good old kick to the fat side really, and found him over the back of the pack of players that were in front.
Yeah, Anthony McWilliams been very quiet today, lining up for his first, I believe. Oh, yeah.
So he's missed that right across, hit the behind post on the full, so
boundary umpire was ducking and diving there.
Austin Goddard for Southern Districts again will bring it into play.
Yeah, Saints should be safe now, considering Southern Districts have slowed down a bit, but good fight back in that start of that fourth from the Crocs.
So the ball slips through the hands out the back. Wilson runs onto it, ducks back inside now, gets past his opponent, chips the ball inside to forward 50, just a little bit too long for Parry there, and now coming in was McPhee. He got bundled over and penalised for incorrect disposals. Districts take advantage and bring it straight up the middle of the ground, and now they've got an opportunity again with two going into an open forward line. The ball goes over the top, running onto it down here for Districts was Holmes, but he got dispossessed, and Saints got some numbers back, and now have managed to work the ball down towards the wing. Bushop, beautiful, great skills to just reach in and grab that ball, but then unfortunately he got tackled as he was trying to bound away, and the ball slipped forward. Districts trying to take the advantage, but have to go back over the mark. There's no one on the mark, and they're allowed to go now as Hayden Breen kicks inside forward 50. Running onto it down here is Shears, who hooks the ball back towards goal. It's going to bounce through. That's a fantastic finish from out wide, and gee, they're getting excited now. They've kicked the only 4 goals of this final quarter, and that was a real opportunist goal, a great finish. The goal square was open, and the bounce favoured him and went through, just as we watch the replay here, and moving the ball quickly again to players in space. But you talked about Ryan Shears in the third quarter there, and that was a terrific finish from out wide.
It's funny as well, isn't it, Stu? Sometimes these kids that dominate at 15, 16 and they just stagnate a bit, but Ryan Shears still has that talent and just kicked a beautiful goal there, and they're within 5 goals here, and they've got to kick 5 goals in 8 minutes, and what's have kicked 4 in 8, so yeah, mathematically it'll be tight.
Interesting that Saints have got Kazamba back in the ruck. They've got Parker Fawcett in the middle of the ground. Wilson's in there as well, and now they've got someone doing some heavy checking on Taj Stanley as well. So just looking to stem the tide a bit here, and I think they've been shocked a bit by what Districts have dished out in the early part of this final quarter.
What are they up by? They're up by 8.
Well,
9 goals.
9 goals at 3/4 time.
So you can't really blame them for experimenting with a few things, but backfired a tad.
Kazamba missed that one. Fawcett just taps it forward. Kazamba trips over the ball, and McPhee reaches in and keeps his feet well, kicks long towards the goal square. McWilliams coming in from the side, takes a good mark. The players were wrestling in front of him, and he just came in from the side and snatched it in front of him, and now he'll go back and he'll be hoping that his shot at goal this time is a bit better than his previous one.
Yeah, this will be his first for the game. McWilliams is going to be that player that just has to create 30 contests a game. It's just going to come to him later in stages of games.
Well, that kick isn't much better than his previous one. Just snuck in for a behind. So, not the quarter that Jared Livingston would have been looking for to finish off this game. But it's good to be put under pressure sometimes and see how you can respond.
Yeah, giving those an extra them second string players a go in that midfield as well, and giving them a chance to step up is also vital. holds you in better stead come finals.
That was
other side of the
best
boot.
kick,
Yeah.
the side of the boot, but had run out of the goal square, so it'll be a boundary throw in. And see McWilliams in screen there, just having a think about what he's doing with his kicking. So his last couple haven't been good at all. So just waiting on this boundary throw in as Kazamba makes his way to the front, but it was the big fella Darcy Singh who won the hit out, and now Grace breaks away from the stoppage and kicks down the line. Just bounced off the chest there of Shears, and running onto it was Hamilton. He got it was Hayden Breen. He got swamped by St Mary's opponents. The ball caught up underneath, and we've got a stoppage here as Kazamba comes in doing the ruck work, just thumps it forward. Kabiku runs onto it, tries to keep it in play, but can't do so, and another boundary throw in. So
yeah, Southern Districts will have to take something moving into the season from this last quarter, and St Mary's giving that opportunity to other players. We've got 5 minutes to go here in the last quarter.
Force it around the ball, they just couldn't take it. Saints working it through the hands, force it now, gets it out wide to Bush. Bush on the outside of the boot, kicking forward, but well read in defence, and Jack James takes the mark for Southern Districts. He's staying grandstand side as the ball just gets through the hands of the players at the front of the pack, reaching in there for Saints as Williams now a toe poke off the ground by Jallo. Again, plenty of pressure on players as they take possession of the ball, and a free kick's been paid, and it's going to be Laven King for Southern Districts. He chips along the grandstand side, the ball slips over the back. Stephanodikis comes in, but he's tackled as he hand passes, and the ball just hits an opponent. Reaching in nicely, and there was Williams, but his kick was smothered, and now a quick kick forward by Hansen. Under pressure down there was Joel Burke, and the ball slips out the back where Saints have got a couple of players. Stephanodikis picks it up, hacks it forward high. The ball slips to the back now, and Jallo just toe pokes it forward. McPhee couldn't take it cleanly, but the ball spills to Parry. He weaves his way through some traffic, gets a kick forward, but it's going to go straight into the hands of his opponent down there, Austin Goddard, who plays on straight away. Kicks the ball out along the ground to the outer side, but coming in there for Saints was Cooper Rainey. He got caught in the tackle but managed to get his hand pass out, and now McWilliams gives it back to Rainey. Rainey hooks the ball inside forward 50, but coming across for Southern Districts was Darcy Singh taking a nice intercept mark. He plays on with a bounce now, switches the ball to the grandstand side of the ground. McPhee got involved, got his hands to the ball, couldn't take it. Gabiku in there working hard over the ball. He's pushed out of the way in the end by Masters, but Kabiko again on it, just paddles it forward, but Southern Districts in the end have got numbers, and the kick comes out here, and the mark's taken by Masters in front of Stephanodikis. He looks to chip it around the boundary line, and just gave it a bit too much air. Corey Rice was put under pressure, and now Joel Burke with a steadying kick, but that's into a nest of crocodiles down there as the hand pass comes inboard. Stephanodikis again runs onto it, kicks long, inside forward 50. Parker Fawcett underneath it, just couldn't take the mark that time, spills out. He thumps it forward, trying to get it to the advantage of his teammates, and but Southern Districts have got numbers back there now, and a quick kick out of defence goes into the hands there of Connor Williams, who couldn't take the mark. Play on the call, that looked like a bumped a bit high, and it'll be a Southern Districts free kick, and it's Jack James, I think, who's just holding his head down there, and yeah, just a bit of a crude bump, and he looks okay now as he's trying to direct traffic and just drives it forward. Oh, good intercept mark taken down there by Jed Fairchild for St Mary's, and very slows things down.
Yeah, Jed Fairchild, one of those kids that's eligible for 16's, been very good as well as today, but was outstanding last week.
Just bounces off the hands of Coleman down there. Gabiku tried to hand pass over the top. His hand pass was smothered. And now there's another free kick. It's Southern Districts free kick. And it's going to Saxon Berry. Berry chips it along grandstand side, but just slipped through the hands there of Armat. And coming in for Saints was Ethan Bush to tidy up, but couldn't keep it in play, and it's over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in. So after all the action at the start of the quarter where Districts piled on 4 goals quickly, it's been a bit of a stalemate for the last 8 or 10 minutes, Robbie.
Yeah, it definitely has. St Mary's have just steadied it back. A few hard contests and just, getting that football back into that contested situation and nullifying a few of their key players at Districts that got a bit loose there.
So it's
St Mary's defence as well. They're just pushing back into space, peering off. Just really good for a team at this level.
It's a downfield free kick. James Hamilton released for Southern Districts. He'll take the kick. He looked grandstand side, then changed his mind and goes out wide here. And he's got a player out there in Austin Goddard, but he's under plenty of pressure as the ball spills to ground. And just steaming out of defence was Kazamba for Saints and kicked the ball forward, and that's a nice mark taken by McWilliams. He wheels around on the left foot. He's got a player over the back. If he can get it there, it's not the best of kicks once again, but it's out in space. And Stavrey just fumbled at the wrong minute, and James came in for Southern Districts, got a boot to the ball, but it's all Saints here as Madrill picks up, swings inside, tries to chip forward, but off the instep, that one just drifts over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full, and the Southern Districts free kick deep in defence as the siren's about to go to the end of the game here, and the mark's taken by James as the siren goes. So a comfortable win for Saints, but certainly some good signs for Districts in the end, Robbie.
Yeah, Ryan Shear's got his hands on it towards the end there with 2 goals. Ben Armat and Carter Hansen with 1 apiece. Taj Stanley with 3. Stanley their best and probably Shear's their second best. For singles for St Mary's, Terry Panaris, Nick Stefandakis, Sam Kazumba and Ethan Coleman 1 apiece. Nick Stefandakis looked very good behind the footy. Parker Fawcett was 7. Parker Fawcett best on ground for mine. Big Sammy Kazumba number 2, and 1 the underrated backman Leo King. Stay tuned, guys, because tomorrow Majak Dor is appearing for the Tiwi Bombers over on the islands against Pints. So thanks for listening to TIO's NTFL coverage of the under-18 season.